It's going?
It's going.
I can't believe it. Well, the modern miracle of the interwebs. It's amazing what you can do with a telephone and a box of tissues
That's tissues.
and some duct tape.
Oh no.
What no?
Seriously?
This is awkward.
This is going to be very awkward.
Hopefully I don't know them. Oh, that's a lovely picture of them.
How do we make this do this again here?
I know, I messed it up.
Okay, so here's the deal, guys. Well, first of all, we cannot talk over each other, and we cannot mumble underneath our breath.
Can you set this on the floor?
So, is it live?
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Well, if you guys haven't figured out, we found really good signal reception in the cemetery. So, there's gonna be a lot of people driving by.
Yeah.
We're gonna sign autographs. There's
Wave.
something right there. Yeah, they're waving. You waved.
I love that.
So, okay, here's the first dad joke of the evening.
Here you go, honey.
And there will probably be many more. Wow, that looks pretty good.
Well, we have
I mean,
bars.
minus me, of course.
Oh,
But
come on.
so cemeteries, right? I gotta look behind me because I think there was people that were in there, and I don't want to be rude and not sensitive. But cemeteries are very popular places. You know why? Do you know why? Do you know why?
I know why.
You know why?
Oh yeah.
Tell them.
Everybody's dying to get there.
Yeah. Dun-dun-dun. Alrighty, kids. The cemetery has internet. No, it's that honestly, our internet is so bad that we use our telephones as internet hotspots.
Yes.
And even then, you have to pick where you're at. Like in the house, you can't be in certain areas. And then some days, if the weather's bad, it's not going to work.
No.
But what we have right here is a very open space, and we've got line of sight to the tower.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway,
Oh, boy.
take two. Here we go. Trucking it up's here. What up, trucking it up?
What up? What up?
So, all right. Well, Mama, why don't you start to say hello to everybody?
All
And
right, we'll do this again.
yeah.
All right, so Alicia D, Brenda Collins, Trucking It Up, Mary Smith, Living Like Claire, Amy T, Life Unwired, Debbie McMurty, Jody Bean. Sorry, I'm just going to Jody Bean. Music Well, Larry Collins, B.H. Harris, Truthification Chronicles, Noah's Ark, Adventure Demo Dawn, Christy Dennis, Deborah Sanders, Mega Candy Lady.
Mega Candy Lady.
I like her name. That's cool.
That's nice.
So, lots of people. Lots
All
of
right.
folks.
We have stuff
And things.
and things.
Okay.
It's weird though. Feel how the air has changed here.
Yeah,
it's
very,
like damp.
It's very damp. It's been raining on and off, and it might be quite hysterical if we get rained on.
Actually, I do think there's some rain clouds coming our
I
way.
know. Ooh,
So this,
is wet.
no, your pants are moist.
No. Well, yes,
Yes.
because the bench is wet.
No, it's you know, that's how you look at things, your perspective. The bench is not wet, your pants are moist. Say it with me, people, moist.
Moist.
That was like the word most hated a few weeks ago. You don't want to say it? No?
It's such a funny word though.
Yeah, why is it all gooey and weird? I don't get it. Do you get it? As both of the girls are like, shut up right now. You will shut up, or I will shut you up.
Go to sleep or I'll put you to sleep.
Oh yeah, there you go. First movie quote of the evening. You will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep. You're in my world now, Grandma. Yeah, it is our messed up sense of humor.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So everybody, gang's all here. What?
I take it, this is the Music Well saying, I take it the cemetery's general population doesn't use much internet bandwidth.
That's it. You know, they ran Wi-Fi out here years ago, and nobody uses it.
No.
They didn't run Wi-Fi out
No,
here.
they did not.
No. Our next choice was going to be the library, because the library has killer internet,
Yes, but this is working just fine.
and you have to sit in the car.
Yeah, because the library's closed on Sunday evenings.
Yeah, they don't do that.
Yeah.
So okay, kids.
Shut doesn't go up, Brad.
Hey, where's my moderator? We need to bounce that comment.
No.
Aren't they our
No.
friends?
Who's the Marine? I don't know.
Who's the
I
Marine?
don't know,
Yeah, no,
you're
Larry's
talking to
acting-
somebody else.
Okay.
Not sure I know what you're talking about there,
Yeah.
Larry. Okay. Killer internet. Is that why they're in a cemetery? Here, we got to wave. Cars going by. You guys, hey.
That dude's not wearing a shirt.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah,
He's
and my
very-
tooage daughter notices that first.
No, he had a shirt on.
No, he did not.
He was shirtless, and Claire's excited about
No,
it.
I was not. I was just making a statement.
Whatever.
Yes, the background does look very lush
Ah.
because it rains pretty much every day.
Well, now,
It's really difficult to hang laundry outside.
yeah, looking into that UBIFI. Okay, so stuff we've done this week, guys. We're gonna do a quick recap. We celebrated our daughter Grace's birthday today, but
Yep.
it's not today.
No,
It's coming up.
Yep.
And the coolest thing that she got, we have some friends who know about Grace's issues, and we have been trying for a long time to find an adult-sized tricycle.
Yes, a three-wheel bicycle. It's not really. I mean, it's a tricycle, but that sounds so childish.
It's not.
It's a three-wheel bike.
No, it's a real. That's why I said adult-sized.
Thank you, Deborah. I really appreciate
And
that.
why does she need this tricycle?
She needs this tricycle because
Thanks,
Grace
Deborah.
has cerebral palsy and her balance is awful. She can't balance a bicycle, and training wheels on a little kid's bike is too small for her. It's too short. I mean, yes, she's got smaller. She's a shorter child, but it just doesn't work. The training wheels just don't work. So
Well, these friends of ours who happen to be one of the folks in the chat right now, which
Yep.
is Prepsteader Bob and his lovely bride, they spotted an adult-sized tricycle. What's the matter?
Turning up the volume.
There is no,
you can't do that.
no.
No.
They got to turn the volume up on the computer there
Can we
in
bring
front
it
of.
closer?
We can, but then it would be harder to. Wait, people driving by.
No, they don't see us.
No. So anyway, yeah, we're talking loud enough. I
Sorry.
mean, when we film, it's this close.
Yeah, that's true.
It's always this close,
Yeah,
or
I
further.
think there's just so much background noise that maybe it's.
Well, it did that at home, so I don't
yeah,
know.
but
if
we
that'll
don't
work.
have background noise at home.
That's my point. You see my point.
No, I
At
don't.
home, there's no background noise. Here, there's lots of background noise that shouldn't make a difference.
Well, it's just harder to hear, I guess.
Anyway, so okay, went to. Oh, you guys had VBS this week.
Yes, we did. Our church had Vacation Bible School, and Claire and I led the preschool class. And I was just gonna be in the beginning. I was just gonna help with the crafts. I didn't want to lead anything or anything like that. But when they had said 2 weeks ago that if a preschool teacher doesn't step up, then there will be no preschool class. Well, I couldn't have that in any way. Those little kids need to hear about Jesus.
They're people.
So what? They're in their car. These little kids need to hear about Jesus just as much as the older kids, so I decided to help out. So,
And I
Awesome.
will. Okay, here's a little bit of a throw you under the bus, just a little bit. Day one, she comes home. She looks bedraggled, hair knotted,
haggard.
snot
word.
foam
No, there
out of her
was- no.
nostrils. There was also like some kind of a blood mucus thing going on here.
Stop.
And she says, I will never,
No.
ever. No, it
No.
wasn't that bad,
Okay,
but day
no.
one was bad.
Because of that, it has been 3 years since I worked with little ones, okay? I used to do this at our last church, and it had been a while since I've done it, so I was caught unawares on how 3 and 4-year-olds behave, because I hadn't had that for a while, and I forgot.
Well, not too dissimilar from the monkeys in the zoo. You know what they throw around when they get irritated. It's kind of like that. They do finger painting on the walls.
No. Okay, so first day, frustrating. Second day, third day got even better. By the end of the week, it was an amazing experience. I absolutely loved it. Can't wait to go back. One of the other leaders who's in charge of the children's ministry there at the church asked if me and the girls would help out with beginners church during the service once in a while. So I was excited about that.
VBS accomplished.
Yeah.
Other stuff. We okay. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Wonder, the one with the child that has got some issues with his face. Yeah, and I am wholly convinced that movie was intentionally designed to make grown men cry like babies. Because I guarantee you, I'm not the only one who would cry. I know many of you out there would cry like babies, and you'd be like, "Oh no, yeah, you would.
Yeah,
you totally would."
It's an amazing movie. It's great for the whole family to watch. If you have not seen it, please rent it, buy it, run to the store and get this, because it is an amazing movie. And we haven't even finished it yet.
And I've already cried twice.
Yeah,
twice. I've cried like 5 times.
Well, that's maybe the difference. Girls get more cries. Guys, you got to choke it back, but we'll reluctantly admit.
Like from the movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and the big cop dude, and he's just like, "It's okay, you can come down now," and then he just cries with one tear.
Look,
that was actually Mr. T.
I wish you could see on the other side of the road. There's a family of ducks.
Are they coming up this way?
No, they're on the side of the road. They're hiding. Can you see them over there?
No. Oh, I see them now. Where's the shotgun?
No.
I mean nothing.
Jeez, we're not playing duck hunt.
So anyway.
Oh, Will. He cried at the Justin Bieber movie.
Yeah. I cried because there was a Justin Bieber movie.
Bieber. The movie is called Wonder, W-O-N-D-E-R. I don't know if it's on PureFlix. It might be on Netflix soon, but I don't know.
It might be a while.
Yeah.
But it was we've only got a few more chapters left on the DVD, and I shudder to think what's going to happen now, because everything's going good. You know what I mean? Right. So everything goes good, then they're not going to keep you watching the movie for another 25 minutes unless something bad happens.
Probably. Tyler, about the ducks. They're ducking out of the video.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Yeah. Just Martin, we are actually in a cemetery.
Yeah. I don't know if you just let them see. That's a gravestone back there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what though? It's nice and quiet. The neighbors are good. Mm-hmm. They mind to themselves.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There's not a lot of knocks on the door, borrowing the whatever.
No.
So okay. I know it's better signal than at home. That's crazy. It actually looks good.
It does.
Okay, so other stuff this week, guys. We went to the fair.
We went to the fair. Yes, it was cool. There was lots of cows and goats, and actually not as many as I would have thought there would have been. Honestly, I would have thought that there would have been a lot more. But you know what I was surprised about? They had lots of beef cows, lots of milking cows. There was only one Jersey. No, I take that back. There was 2 Jerseys. One in milk and then one baby. And that was at one calf. I was surprised there weren't more Jerseys.
Well, yeah, and in retrospect, she's going, well, why didn't we take Macy?
Well.
I'm like, well, we're not involved in that world yet.
No, we're not.
Thank you, Anne.
Thank you, Anne.
Yeah, and so the fair, I will say that I was a little bit perplexed at how the mechanics of it worked. I mean, I thought that we would we saw the goat judging, one facet of the goat judging thing. Yeah. And so these kids come up and they got their goats and they go in this pen, and then they kind of walk around, and then somebody gets medals and ribbons. And I was just kind of like, is there not going to be any explanation why that one won or this one did not, or what? No, there wasn't. The judge questioned the children, about their breed of goat, about other breeds of goat, specifics about the anatomy of the goat,
and it was all in the child was being judged more than the actual animal.
Yeah.
So it was.
They had to stand a certain way. No, they really actually did.
Yeah, no, they really did. I thought you were going somewhere with that. I'm like, where are you going with this?
One thing I did hear the judge, or at least the MC, I don't know if he was, I think he must have been the judge. He said to the kids beforehand, he goes like, now make sure you smile, but don't keep it a fake plastic smile the whole time.
Right, right.
So,
right.
That was interesting. So the fair, it was cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. We didn't go and look at all the rides because those kind of freak us out, because a ride that can be set up in 45 minutes kind of scares me.
Do you remember where we lived in Florida, and where my mom and dad's place was, and that guy who owned all the circus stuff was on that one road going to it?
Yes, I do remember that.
This guy had in his backyard like the crazy cage that the motorcycles would do, like a sphere.
Forgot about
and
that.
He had elephants, and he had a bunch of different stuff. But that was doggone near Sarasota, so I bet he was like a Ringling guy.
Probably a Ringling guy, yeah. But it was crazy just to drive by, and they're practicing with their motorcycles in this sphere.
Or they'll have zebras today, you know?
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Wow.
Wait, we gotta wait. Here comes another truck. You gotta know these people are going, why are they sitting in the cemetery?
I think actually that's a kid from my high school.
Yeah.
Really? That's funny.
So, all right, other stuff.
Oh my goodness.
I got a chance to play and praise and worship today at the church. It was awesome because like when I led worship at the church in Cincinnati, there's a lot of pressure that goes on with that, and you may go, oh, it's a church, how bad could it be? Trust me when I say that there's a lot of stuff that goes unsaid that are demands that they expect to be met.
Yep.
And if things don't go right, it's your fault, mister.
Yeah. I don't think it's every church is like that though.
Maybe not.
You know, I think that was a specific
Well,
issue there.
we won't name this
No.
church because they were good to us for a very long time. But I will say that as time went on, there's a lot of pressure from, because here's the thing, this is a reality that a lot of people don't want to talk about, and that is people are getting disenfranchised with the way that church, and I'm throwing air quotes up, the way that regular church looks like today, where it's just a bunch of
it's a rock show.
Or well, yes, but I mean more traditional stuff.
Okay.
Where you've got like an organist, and trust me, I promise you, I'm not busting on any of this stuff because I actually like classical music probably more than anything.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about that later.
Right.
But just the way that people are not wanting to come anymore to a traditional church just because they don't feel connected.
Right.
And so that's all I'm getting at with that. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but so with that, when you have churches that are actually leading the pack and are not losing lots and lots of members, they are asked to do a lot more than the average church just because they can.
Right. Right. And they're all, trying to get the numbers up.
Yeah.
So.
Which is sad because it should never be about numbers.
Exactly, which is very sad. And we actually know of a particular church that is closing.
Yeah.
And it's really
friends
sad.
Of ours.
Yeah, friends of ours that it's
They
closing.
we worked with them at this one church, and then they got a pastoral job at another one, and they just can't keep it together. There's not enough money.
Yeah.
So yeah.
BC Truck is here.
BC Truck is here.
Hey Brad, how's it going?
Hats off to you, my brother. But this morning, it was awesome to be able to come to church and not worry about all of that garbage.
Right.
I just got to come and play and sing and worship. There's nothing. Hey guys. Oh, that's your.
my friend.
No, that's your.
That's
No,
your
my
driving
friend
instructor.
is driving though.
Yeah, that's her driving instructor that just went by.
Yeah, her driving instructor just drove by.
That hasn't called yet to drive.
Bitter much?
Have you called him?
He said that we didn't have to, that he would call.
Right.
Bitter much? Bitter much?
Yes, slightly.
So it was great having to be able to come and play and then not have to really worry about all those stresses.
Right.
But this I didn't tell you. The music is split into 2 sections. There's usually a couple songs, and there's a break, and then there's a couple more songs.
Right.
But the first thing, we played the first song, and I don't know if you're a guitar player, but you have to have things a certain specific way for you to feel like just really good and comfortable about it.
Yeah.
I think there's a boat driving over here.
Yeah, there's a boat in the distance.
Oh, he's coming right there.
Oh yeah, I see it.
He's coming right there. Anyway, so we play the first song, everything's great, hunky-dory. I go and then come back, and then all of a sudden I can't find my guitar pick at all.
You left a pile of them on it at home, on the island.
Go ahead. Anyway, this was long before then. I think those guys just fell down in their boat.
Oh, no.
Anyway,
so you couldn't find
that is enough to throw your mojo off.
Yeah.
And so, fortunately, the guy who played worship last week left a pick on the stand, or else I would not have had anything. And I'd have been trying to be like, plom, plom, plom. And but it wasn't my pick. And so I kept making stupid little glinky errors, and I was just not happy.
Oh, no.
It throws you off.
It sounded really good, though, honey.
It still throws you off.
I know.
Thank you, Premium Mom to Twins.
Yes, thank you.
So anyway, got to play in church. Oh, okay.
You look younger when you're looking down at your phone.
I'm just trying to be a good moderator.
Yeah.
guys.
Troll Slayer.
Troll Slayer.
That's all.
Okay,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, it has come to that moment in our evening when it is not only acceptable to shout out your own channel or someone's channel who you like, it's encouraged. So when I give you the signal, I know there's a boat right there. It's so funny. They're looking at us like, what are you guys doing?
I don't want to do this because they're there.
I could run over and I could be like,
No.
Go away.
Do you guys mind fishing on the other side of the lake?
Over on the other side.
Here, I'll show you. Huh? They're over there. Can you see them? I feel like the crocodile hunter. Isn't she a beaut? Oh, as you can see, this is quite painful. Cannot.
No, you can't. Look, see?
See? All right. As you can see,
It's quite painful.
isn't she a doozy? Anyway.
Sarah, she did get her package. Thank you very much. And she absolutely loves them. Thank you.
Oh, they're by the dock now. This could be bad juju.
I think I know that kid too.
Shh. Is it Cody?
No.
No, Cody would be here.
No, he's at the fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I say go, you do the channel shout outs. Mama's
Okay.
going to read as many as she can, and we're going to get through this together.
Okay.
We're going to get through this together.
Okay.
Wonder Twin Powers?
Say hi to Tim Beverly. He's here. Hi,
What's up, Tim Beverly? On your mark, get
Okay,
set,
go.
start typing. And
Yeah, that was a terrible Aussie accent.
no kid. Yeah, I know it is really bad. I know.
Art and Bree. Why'd you delete his content?
Because he said there was a troll and so he was here, so I had to delete.
Oh, jeez. Okay, new tutorial. Living on a dime. Tiny house prepper. Part-time permies. Angie B's house. Living traditions. Homestead. Roots and refuge. Activate. The weekend homestead. 7 degrees off cool. Going batty. 2 family. Collard Valley cooks. Out of the country. Mike Miller. Holler Homestead. Collard Valley. Waco, Texas. Oh, sorry. Cy from Waco, Texas. Resistance Chicks. Stanley is having his birthday today. How you doing, Stanley? The Red, White, Blue workshop. I got behind. Sorry. Plant food minerals. Step 1 survival. Texas boys. Tiny house prepper. Going batty. Yonder Bessa Homestead. That's a new one. Cool.
Bumblebee Junction.
Oh, Bumblebee Junction. Sweet. 180 degrees from average. Bandana Grandma. Lynette Yoder. Out of Goshen. Dave Ramsey. Going batty. Tiny house prepper. Rusted garden.
All right, Mama, take a breath. Take a breath. Okay, keep typing your channels in there, and tonight, instead of us giving a channel shout out for one that we're like, hey, this is new and awesome and interesting, I wanted to tell you that our channel shout out winners, I've started making their intros for them. And I got 2 of them done this week. One was for Stringfield Ridge Farm, and they're trying to work through how they can put it on their videos, but she actually took a camera and filmed her computer screen.
Nice.
So that they could at least have the intro on the front there.
Nice. That's awesome.
So check it out, and if you like it, tell them you like it. And also is Deep South Texas. And I got to tell you what, I really like the intro I made for him.
Oh yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Well, and he was so cool too because he gave me a lot of input. Most of the time, people don't know what they want, and so they're like, well, just make something cool. And that doesn't really help me as the creator because I don't know what you want.
Right. Right.
And he was like, this would be great, this would be great, this would be great. I like this, and this. And I was like, boom, got it. Done. And so I incorporated all the stuff in there that he wanted, and I think it looks pretty cool.
Awesome.
So you got to go visit those 2 channels, and then next week, I hope to have everybody else finished. What?
Tim Beverly is giving Claire a hard time.
No, but he says, okay.
Did you see my troll alert?
No, but I was looking for the comment.
Camera's over there.
And I couldn't find the comment you were talking about, or even that person, so I can't block them if I don't have justifiable means or a comment even from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just keep watching.
Yeah.
She's texting Cody instead of doing her job.
No, she's not.
No, I'm not.
See, that's all it takes to set him off.
I'm not.
Will at the Weekend Home said he would really like a Michael Bay intro.
I can do explosions, but then again, you can probably do much better
Exactly.
explosions than I can.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you, BC Truck. I didn't even see the comment,
Oh,
so
awesome.
I had
Okay.
no idea.
BC truck.
Because people were wanting me to smile, so I got distracted.
Yeah, you know.
That whole, happiness thing kind of gets in the way of my job. I'm just kidding.
What?
Oh my goodness.
I have no idea what's going on here.
Julie is asking who's Cody.
That's my special friend.
Her special friend.
Do tell.
Well,
The camera's over there.
I met
You've
him.
done this before, Claire.
I met him at school, and actually I met his family before I met him. We were
Yes.
we bought hay from them.
We bought hay from them a year ago.
It's Claire's story.
And okay, so this is a funny story. So we were buying hay from them, and this guy looked to be about my age, drove past in a truck, had sunglasses on and a hat, and I was like, dang, he's pretty cute. I mean, like, I'm just saying.
She's like,
It was
oh yeah.
so hysterical.
I said it to her, and I said it to his mom too. And
we were standing there talking to Jacob, and I think he's grown probably a foot
yeah.
since
Let
we
me
met
tell
them.
my story. And so then I just kind of forgot about him. I just thought, okay, God's creation is pretty great. I mean, he's pretty cute. And so then I went to school, and I kind of became friends with him mutually with a couple other girls.
Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun.
No, they were just all
And then
really
there was
good
a snotty
friends.
one, and she was like,
Let
and
her
she was like,
tell
oh,
the
like,
story.
No. And so we were all really good friends, and a couple months went by, and then I basically was like, here's my phone, put your number in it. And then we started texting, and I learned more about his faith, and then about a month later, he asked me if he could talk to my dad about pursuing a relationship with me. And I was like, if you can talk to my dad, then okay.
Yeah, if you can talk to my
If you can
dad.
talk to my dad, then I'm down. And he
I
talked to
was
my dad.
gracious.
Yes, you were very nice.
The plot thickens.
And
Will
then
says.
9 months later,
Whoa.
there you go.
Whoa.
Stay away from that
whoa,
9-month
whoa,
mark.
whoa,
No,
whoa,
no,
whoa.
I don't
no,
mean
no.
like I don't
They've
mean like
been
that.
dating.
We've been
Time out.
dating for
Flag on the
9
play.
9 months.
Clipping. No holding
Oh
the
my
bars. Hey.
It's not weird.
Got the kid to wave. Score.
Anyway, he's a great kid.
Sometimes it's a what is the thing I'm trying to say?
Vomit? Oh, you're talking about Cody.
To get somebody to wave at me, no, they can't see us. But every time we drive by and there's somebody out, sometimes Brad will honk to get them to wave.
Oh, I give them the beep. But you got to time it out just right. Because what you want to do is you want them to hear the beep
But not
and look just in time to go,
Huh?
who are they?
right.
But you see the hand, and so they go,
And I actually really like doing that because it used to embarrass me. When he would do that, it would embarrass me. But now I try and wave to folks who were outside. Like there was one guy, we were driving through town, and he was just standing in front of his picture window, just standing there. So I waved, and he waved back and had
Everybody
a
waves
big
here.
smile. I was like, you know, I'm just hoping that will make somebody's day. You know, I'm not trying to be.
She's trying to take this all to some place it doesn't need to be. Oh no.
I'm not
Oh,
turning
give me a
red,
break.
Will. Jeez.
No, that's just her natural glow.
I
That's her
just-
glow.
Yep, I just have that.
She's in the moment. So, well, since we're talking and it's live
Jeez.
on the internet and there's over 300 people watching, what are your intentions with this, Cody?
Okay.
I don't want to know what their intentions are.
Okay.
I do.
I know you do.
My intentions are to follow what the Lord wants. And if he's
Oh, pause button.
No, I am not finished with what I was going to say. And if he is
Push
the
you
guy
off this
that
bench.
God has for me, great. And if he's not, great. Because I know that whatever that decision is and whatever he has for me, it's going to be great. And I'm
No,
saying
I
great
was
a lot.
looking at BC Truck's comment. It came in and keep going. Sorry.
I'm just we are both just seeking what the Lord wants, and we know that either way, whether a relationship works out or not, we both will have grown in this as people and closer to the Lord.
You know, I'm sure that's what every teenage boy is thinking. You know what? We'll just, whatever's good, God's got it. In all honesty, people, he's a good kid, and I really do
He
like
really
him.
is.
I'm just giving her a hard time now because she knows that I can get away with it.
The redness, the music well says the redness in your face is a reflection of my shirt.
No, that's just the Holy Spirit glowing inside of me like Moses.
A deep hole and lime cures all.
Yeah, I got the shovel.
Yeah.
No, Cody is a great kid. Really is polite and kind, and he's a gentleman. So.
And I will say this. I've said this to you guys privately.
Missed what she did.
I didn't see what she did.
Don't worry.
Did you try to lick her again?
No,
Ah.
no, she just went.
Give him the brows. Show him the brows.
Well, because she's like, he's a gentleman. I'm like, yep.
We are having
Okay.
entirely way too much fun here.
The most fun you can have in a cemetery on this side of nothing. Anyway, I've had this conversation with them privately, but I honestly am very thankful that God has put Cody in our lives. If nothing more, then he's been a gentleman, and I really do believe that they are doing what is right and honorable. And so for that, I mean, no, I was.
No,
Stop.
say it. As long as it's appropriate, say it. If it's
No. I was going to go to the nth degree.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's
Well, here's what I used to tell people. Because, you know, being in ministry and stuff, you hang out with a lot of teenagers, college kids, and when you get to know some of them and they understand my warped sense of humor,
yes.
you can get away with stuff. So, like, my common thing was, like, college-age kids would come over and they'd all of a sudden, hey, there's a boyfriend there. And so I'd talk to them and be like, hey, so, you gonna marry her? Ooh.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean you're gonna marry her?
Whoa.
I just said, well, because if you're not, it's going to end up in heartache. And then I'd walk away.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was funny.
Yeah. No, and
And they're like, what just happened?
they would rethink what they were doing. It's like, yeah. We need to take a serious note here for just our serious
Do we?
side. Yes, we do. Dagmar King is asking for prayer. She's having a double mastectomy on Wednesday. So
Absolutely.
we will be praying for you.
Absolutely.
And yes.
Should we pray right now?
Yeah, why don't you lead us, Claire?
Dear Lord, thank you so much for this time where we can all come together as believers and non-believers alike and just have a great time worshiping together. And please just bless Dagmar and help her to be strong and to realize that you're always there and that no matter what happens, she's going to have friends, even if she's never met them, just right alongside her, going through it with her.
Amen. All right, then. So, okay, Cody. Yeah, let's get back on Cody.
We need to bring him for a live stream one time.
He wouldn't know what to do.
He
He's a very soft-spoken guy.
is.
They waved,
Scar. I love that.
but they had a weenie truck. Their
when
truck was a weenie truck.
If you get him talking about airplanes, he is very confident,
Loves
and
airplanes.
that's. But if it's most other things,
He was in the last video. He did a great job talking about his Hassenpfeffers.
His
'cause
rabbit
he's
named
comfortable
Claire.
around you, it makes him laugh so much.
Mary Jane is asking how long we have been believers.
We'll have to answer that separately.
Yes.
Yeah, because my answer's different than your guys' answer too.
Why don't you go first?
I don't think there was a specific moment, but the time that I really, I guess, gave my life to Christ was probably when I was 9. When it was after Sunday school, we came home and I asked Jesus into my heart at that point. I mean, we were raised in the church, but that was the point where I was like, wow,
I want this.
I want this.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it was,
Yeah.
I think it was in May. I don't remember the exact day,
Yeah, I don't either.
but I was 9.
But you were baptized just a little over a year ago.
Yeah, it was July 22nd, a year ago.
Yep.
By
some
our good
very
friends.
good friends.
Hey,
Oh,
happen to
Daddy.
be in the chat
Yes.
room right now.
I got
Yes.
so excited on July 22nd because I'm like, yes, guys! A year ago, I got baptized.
Yes.
That was so great.
That was
Such a
awesome.
There was a lot of
Fine.
goose poop though.
Yeah, but it was worth it.
A lot of goose
Oh
poop.
yeah, goose poop and all. Yeah, exactly.
All right, Mama, you're up.
Well, I was not raised in the church like our kids have been. I would go to church. I would go to Awana's with my aunt. My dad went to church when he was a kid, and when we'd go home, I'm sorry, not go home, but go to his parents' home in Indiana, we would go to church, and I loved it then as a kid. But then when we moved to Florida from Columbus, we started going to church on a regular basis, and it just started to click. And when I was 16, I was baptized.
It's awesome.
I accepted the Lord, and right then and there, it was awesome.
Me, growing up, I was always in the church. We were in a Lutheran church, and I was that. I know this is going to shock you guys so hard, but I was that little kid who always asked the impossible questions of the pastor, and I went through confirmation, and I'm always the one asking the stupid question just to kind of, I don't know, make everybody think I'm cool or whatever. And so I always had a hard time with the Lutheran doctrine. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
No.
I just had a hard time with it because I kept wanting to know, well, how do you know you're going to heaven? And
they couldn't answer that.
well, and
questions for you.
and the thing was that maybe it was just my pastor, but I never ever got a straight answer, and that's from from 12 years on to like 16, 17, 16, and then we started going to this church when we moved to Bradenton, Florida, her church actually, and I played guitar and bass and all that kind of stuff. And they were going on this choir trip to Canada, and their choir director found out I played bass and they needed a bass player. So he said, well, you want to come with us to Canada for 2 weeks? And
for free.
And I'm like, wait a minute, Canada, 2 weeks? Yeah, gone.
Done.
Yeah, done. I'll play whatever you want me to play.
Yeah.
And the kids were really cool, but they kind of were puzzled. They were like, well, what about, do you have Jesus in your heart? I'm like, what do you mean I have Jesus in my heart? I've been this way my whole life. I come to church, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't until a little bit longer after that that I understood that it was not just, sitting in a pew that develops a relationship that is like that.
Right.
And so shortly after that, I did the whole thing too. And then we've had our share of being around the block, guys. No
Felt
pressure.
Something crawling in my shirt.
My hands
Sorry.
are right here.
Keep it family friendly, people.
Yeah, I am
Family
trying. I am
friendly.
trying. Gwen is asking, was that house on DeSoto Road by chance? She grew up in Sarasota and lives in Bradenton.
I know where you're talking about.
Right. We didn't live on DeSoto Road.
No.
No.
We lived in Palmetto for a while, and there's a whole nother story there, but that's for another day.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's for another day. So we got to move on because we're already way late. And Will,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but we're going to go late. We're going to
Yeah.
go late. So, but if you guys don't know the Weekend Homestead, he's one of our mods, and he's an awesome guy and not a bad fireworks man. He blows
No.
things up.
Nope. Not he. Yeah. No, not.
Yes, he does.
Yes. Yes. Funny guy. Fun to be around.
They're just like, why are those people sitting there in the
Yeah.
cemetery?
He's sitting there in the cemetery. Yeah. That's funny.
We're gonna go a little bit long.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, before I do continue, we're gonna have a meet and greet. We're gonna have a get together.
Yes. September 28th, 29th, and 30th, there is going to be a get-together at Will's property in Hayward, Wisconsin. Quit.
Trying to do gang signs here. You keep going.
He has opened up his property for folks to come up and camp if they'd like, to come up on Friday night to set up their gear and hang out all day Saturday. We will be there Saturday. We can't be there the whole weekend because we have animals, but we will be there most of the day on Saturday. What else?
Let's just say we got a lot of fun stuff planned. ATV trails, there's gonna be camping, there's gonna be food, everyone's gonna share stuff, and we'll all have a chance to just hang out and we'll be able to really put faces to comments, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm gonna be there, so why wouldn't you want to go?
I wonder if Cody can make it.
Is it on the weekend?
Fun, yeah.
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 Well, actually,
It's just Saturday. We're just going on Saturday.
we'll see.
Because we can't.
Because he'll be at college.
Yeah, Will is always a blast.
Haha, certainly.
That's funny.
Well, okay. Here's the actual topic that I had come up with for tonight, because I love colloquialisms. I like learning where these odd phrases, the slang phrases that we all just take for granted, where they come from. Because there's always a story behind it, you know what I mean? And so we're going to start sharing a little bit of these, and if you guys know the answers or how they came about, feel free to jump in. Like, here's an easy one. I say this one all the time. It's to go the whole 9 yards, or the whole 9 yards. Everybody knows that means I'm going to get it done no matter what, right? Actually, it's a World War II thing where certain bullets came in 9-yard lengths. And so, if you're going to give them the whole 9 yards, it could be either giving the guy the whole 9 yards to take care of the enemy, or to give him the whole 9 yards.
Exactly.
So, why don't you start one?
Okay. Bite the bullet.
Oh yeah, bite the
Right.
bullet.
You know, the meaning is to face up to unpleasant reality. Now, the origin of this is actually, it makes a lot of sense. Before anesthetics were invented, injured soldiers would bite a bullet to help them endure the pain of an operation or an amputation. And I always thought it was a stick, but I guess
Bite the stick.
yeah,
That
they
doesn't
would
really
put a
roll off the
stick-
tongue.
No, doesn't
You
work.
bite the stick, pal.
There is a bug on me. It's an ant.
Yummy. Extra protein.
Bugs shouldn't bother me, but bugs don't bother me unless they're crawling on me.
Like spiders.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, just don't crawl on me.
You got another one, baby?
Yes. Okay. It costs an arm and a leg.
Oh.
Okay. The meaning: a huge amount of money or value. An arm and a leg may have to come to its current meaning after World War II, to represent the enormous sacrifices amputated veterans made for the countries. Though they didn't pay with their lives, an arm and a leg is still a whole lot to lose. So that does take a different meaning.
Well, I did not need to know that. That's gross.
Yeah, that's true. David
Oh.
Gunter is this is funny because I use this phrase all the time. Are you going to do fine as frog hair?
That's what Grandpa says.
I know.
I'm finer than a frog's hair.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know where that one comes from.
No, I don't
I actually
either.
say it and use it.
Yeah.
So okay, this one is kind of like, oh geez, I'm not really sure I wanted to know that one, but over a barrel. When someone's got you over a barrel, the meaning is to be under someone's control. The origin dates back to the Spanish Inquisition. It's the Inquisition. What a show. Everybody knows that. Monty Python. Anyway, no, it's not. It's Mel Brooks. Dates back to the Spanish Inquisition. A form of torture was to suspend someone over a barrel of boiling oil. If you didn't agree to their demands, you'd be dropped in.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
To be boiled in oil?
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one. Now this one, okay. This one, do you want to do that one?
Sure.
Then I'll do this one. Or you want to do one, Claire? Okay.
Yeah.
How about that one?
No, you read that one.
All right.
Goodness
The
gracious.
term, the phrase, balls to wall means pushing it to the limit. But where did it come from? The origin is derived from aviation. The balls sat on top of control levers controlling the throttle and fuel mixtures. Pushing them forward toward the front wall of the cockpit made the plane go as fast as it can.
Yep.
There you go.
Which one?
Anyone that's
One
not
we
been
haven't
read.
Okay.
This one.
Okay, so we're going to do the meaning of the cold shoulder.
Ah, that one's a good one.
So the meaning is made to feel unwelcome.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody's giving you the cold shoulder, or like not talking to you, or being rude or something like that. The origin is nothing to do with barging someone out of the way. In times gone by, an unwelcome visitor will have been given the cheapest and most common type of food, cold shoulder of mutton. So like the common nasty
Yeah.
gross
It's
stuff.
the bologna of the day.
Right. Do
You come
wanna
over
read
to
this
the
one too?
house, here's a bologna sandwich.
that one
You
too?
can do it.
Okay.
if you want.
All right, so there's one more. To be above board. The meaning is legitimate. The origin is card sharps.
Sharks, they meant sharks.
Okay, card sharks place their hands under the board or table to stack the deck. If they keep their hands above the board, they can be presumed to be performing without trickery.
Aha.
Yeah, so there's that.
Is there one more?
Oh, there is one on the back.
Is there one more?
Yes.
Beat around the bush, meaning to avoid an issue, right?
Yeah.
Origin. In hunting, it's often necessary to beat the underbrush noisily. Hold on. Nope, weren't
Nope,
looking.
not having.
Beat the underbrush noisily in order to flush animals out into the open. A timid and unwilling hunter will beat about the bush, making a show of it. But instead of killing the beast, does not actually do so.
Right.
There you go.
Darlene, we cannot turn the volume up. We are trying to talk as loud as possible. Sorry. We're just working through our phone.
Jay Sullivan's asking about beating a dead horse. I don't know that one.
I don't know that one either.
I don't know that one.
No.
The only other one that I know that I actually said in a video, was it yesterday or the day before?
The goat, yeah.
Yeah, get your goat.
Yeah.
All that means is that, you know, race horses are particularly wily. You know, they're high strong.
yeah.
And so a lot of guys will use a companion animal. So they'll like travel their horse with a goat or a companion animal. Well, if you were a dastardly competitor, the way that you could really make that horse perform badly is at night you'd sneak in and take their goat so that their horse performs badly.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a funny comment that really needs to be said out loud. Sorry. T Sands.
T Sands.
Okay, sorry, I'm not going to try and butcher your first name. Hey, honey, these weird people sitting in the cemetery waved at me. Is that an omen?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. No, we don't know the origin of the phrase, don't be a goober.
I think my photo is in there somewhere though, and don't be a
Yeah.
goober.
Yeah, that's
So,
funny.
Hey, there's Stringfield Ridge. Hi guys.
Hey. They've been in pretty much the whole time.
I'm sorry. I was
It's hard
trying
to read the comments when we're sitting out here.
Well, especially, you know what? Maybe let's go down there. Let's walk on. You guys want to take a
we
ride?
can't walk on the water, honey.
No, we
Only
can go
Jesus
down
do
there.
that.
But Jesus is with me.
Always.
We can walk down there.
We
to
can. Oh, well, you know what? I'm just
Way
gonna
over
turn the thing around. Well, just because I don't want it to be like, you know, the Blair Witch Project, making people throw up because the camera's going all around.
Yeah.
They can close their eyes.
No.
Yeah, watch this show. Close your eyes. You guys are silly. Anyway, so I think we're gonna wind it up, guys. And we're gonna go over to the Weekend Homestead. He's gonna be rocking it up, and I believe since we couldn't do it, he's gonna be taking up the miming portion of our evening because we had something set up, and so Will is gonna be taking over the miming And so don't forget to ask him about it, because the key word this evening is show. So whenever he says show, you go mime, and he has to do a mime at that point. And if he doesn't, you can leave the program feeling guiltless.
You should cut the guy a break. Lincoln is sick.
Mime. So when he says show or then you have to say mime. Sorry, Will,
What
had
are
to be
you
done.
talking
What are you
about?
talking about?
You know, that's a good question.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Mime. Peter walked back to the boat, Claudia.
All right, Jay Sullivan says, I Googled it. Beat a dead horse comes from the mid-19th century, when the practice of beating horses to make them go faster was often viewed as acceptable. Nah, yeah, that's just bad.
Yeah,
Let's not beat a horse.
no.
Peter walked back to the boat. That is true? No.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
no, he fell in the he fell in the soup.
Water.
He didn't walk back to the boat.
Were you talking about Willis?
Yeah. Mime.
Finding Nemo.
See, this is now
Mine.
Mine. All right, guys, we are gonna go and we're gonna. The mosquitoes are starting to come out, but
Yeah.
check this out. I got to tell you what, I like this setting. This setting is pretty awesome, really.
I don't think we could do this in the wintertime, though.
Oh, there's a mosquito attacking my neck. But look at that. I've always thought these are some of the most peaceful places. So, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Good night.
Let's go.
There.
He says he needs about 20 minutes. We could do...
What could we do?
We could do a Q&A.
Q&A.
Yeah.
Well, there was a question earlier that I would have liked to have answered, but we couldn't get to it. Because I think it's important to our family. What?
For the love of God, why is there Wi-Fi in the cemetery? BC truck.
We don't have Wi-Fi. We just have really good cellular signal.
No, there's you bring an actual like thumb drive, and to get in the gate you gotta do a thumbprint identification.
You're bad. You get
That's
way
not
too
true.
close.
That's not true at all.
Okay, so a question earlier when we were talking about when we all got saved. Why are you doing that? Somebody asked if we, I guess, subscribed to a specific denomination.
Okay,
Do you want to answer that
I
question?
think I can field this one.
You got this question?
Yeah,
Because I got this question all day, but go ahead. It's all good.
I would say absolutely no, and here's why. We have, all of us have come from a very wide, degree of denominations and church experience, and everything from Catholicism, Lutheranism. We even spent time in the Messianic movement, which that's kind of an interesting thing in itself. It's people who are Jewish who believe Jesus is still God. And we've been all over the map. My band has played everywhere. I've been everywhere, man. No, but we've come to the conclusion that there are a couple things. There is a God. I'm not him, and I'm fully dependent on him. And churches don't mean squat. And hold on, I got because people are getting mad now. Here's the thing. I'm talking about man-made religion. I'm not talking about the church you go to or Lutheranism or Catholicism, none of that stuff. I'm saying that all of this stuff that we've built up and made and said, look here, we have built this mighty tower for you, Lord. You know what? That's not what it's about. It's about having a relationship with Christ. And so I've come to the point, and then I'll shut up and let you talk, is that I'm tired of fighting about stupid stuff like man-made doctrine. If it's not in the Bible, I don't really want to fight about it. And you can go on thinking I'm stupid or whatever, but I'm happier not having to figure out every little jot and tittle, and yes, that is a real thing, in Scripture in order to be considered worthy. Because I don't really care what man think of me. My worth does not come from somebody's opinion. It comes from God. So anyway, I'll shut up now.
Going into a church makes you a Christian, like going into a garage makes you a car.
Or a bathroom makes you a nothing.
Never mind.
I think also it's just because of all the denominations, Christianity in and of itself has become so divided, and it's almost like they've become their own separate religions, and it's just, that's not how it was intended to be.
You're right.
The church was created to be united, and if we're fighting over stuff that doesn't even impede on salvation, then is that really how Christ decided and
No.
looked at his church to be?
Well,
probably-
and just hear my heart, guys, because Claire can speak for herself, Mama can speak for herself, but I don't want you to think we're talking against your church,
No.
because we're not. The thing is if you go there and you're blessed, good, honestly good. It's just that I'm saying that our journey has been a different journey than your journey.
Yeah.
There's more people coming. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Well, they wave
Anyway,
Sweet.
as she drives into the ditch. Woof.
No.
She swerved.
she was very excited about seeing it.
Oh my goodness.
So
So the short answer, when people ask what denomination we say, we are none. We are Christ followers, follow what the Bible says.
Right. Right.
yeah,
Or we try to the best of our, well, not even our ability, but the Spirit working within us.
Right.
I'd agree
right.
with that.
So there's another question.
Yes.
How did you come to move up there from Florida to Wisconsin?
From Florida?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go there?
Sure.
Go.
Well, we met and got married and started having kids in Florida. And then 2008 hit and jobs went scarce. And, well, Brad, he lost his job. And a friend of ours called who lived up in Cincinnati and said, dude, I just interviewed for the job you're perfect for. And it was back in the ministry, which is what he was hoping and that God would lead him back into. And so we moved up to Cincinnati
Within a month.
within a month. Then we lived there for,
Almost 8 years.
no, we lived there
Oh, no,
longer
no,
than
no,
that.
yeah, no,
We lived there
working at
we
the
lived
church.
there 9 years. We
Working
worked
at
at
the
church
church.
for 8 years. We lived there for 9 years. And then we started our YouTube channel 3.5 years ago. And the Lord led us up here to have more land, to have more animals, to take care of our family. And so that's how we're in Wisconsin. And besides, we don't really like the heat. We like it cooler.
Tyler Woods, next time you go live from the cemetery, wear zombie outfits. I'm actually kind of thinking that at any given moment, Michael Jackson's going to pop out of the ground back there, and we're all going to be dancing like
Oh
it's
my goodness.
1999. So,
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay.
so anyway, I guess the long story short is I'm tired of arguing about stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And my allegiance is not to a building or a slogan or any boxed up ideology or man-made stuff. It's like, you know what, I got enough problems of my own without having to deal with all your junk
Right.
and wanting, you know, it doesn't it smack of like the most insane arrogance that like there are thousands of different denominations across the board and every one of them claims to have the truth. So does that kind of be like all the other guys, well, you got it wrong.
Yeah.
They got truth, but we've got all the truth. It's like, really? How about you just
No.
worry about what's important?
You know what? This is kind of weird and along these lines, but whenever I think of heaven, I always imagine the body of believers from all sorts of different denominations and all sorts of different backgrounds coming together and just worshiping in that sort of sense. That's one of the things that is to be looked forward to, just the unity that isn't found here
Right.
on this earth.
Yeah.
Maya, gasp! Thou hast insulted every denomination. Bad, Mr. Brad.
Hey, it's Wayne.
What?
Hey, Wayne.
No
How you doing,
way.
brother?
Hey, how's
Wayne's
it going,
Country
Wayne?
Living. Oh man,
It's been a long
I
time, brother.
miss you. I genuinely miss you.
Yeah.
I hope things are going well. And he's buds with Jane Zero, so
Yeah.
he automatically gets straight up cool points
Cool
for that.
points, yeah.
Yeah,
No
it's just
kidding.
like chick. He just got 20 cool points without even trying.
Yeah, no kidding. That's
But
awesome.
he's got a channel that you should check out too. Wayne's Country Living.
Yeah.
Miss you, brother.
Yeah.
If you have any other questions, please put them in all caps so we see them.
Good. Everything's going well.
We are all the church. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Everything is going well.
Good. I am so glad to hear that. We're in a cemetery, bro. Check it out.
It's pretty.
Oh, wait. 3, 2, 1, and. Nope. Didn't
Nope.
see us in
Didn't
time.
see us.
Didn't see
Way
us in
too
time. So I think we're gonna call it a night, guys.
Yep, Will's gonna go live here hopefully soon.
I think he's got all the diapers changed, and don't forget, the word is the or show, and then my.
Right.
All right. You guys have an amazing night, and I'm gonna come over here, and you guys got to sing
No,
a closing song.
no.
You have to sing a closing song.
No.
To
Here, what will happen if I do this?
everyone.
Oh, that's
Happy
weird. Don't do
birthday
that.
To everyone.
Don't do that.
No? Ooh, it's infinity. Not really.
You're gonna make somebody sick.
All right. You guys have a great night. Bye. Wait, what's going on? Do you want to stop it?
Yes.
I got to push it over